will there ever be a season? This is my show. Why am I trying to be respectful of my show? Is there going to be a season to where intimacy, love, excitement will fall off in a marriage? Because I think you have some single people who are like me, grew up in a very strong Christian faith home, right? So a lot of them are excited about getting married because of the intimacy, legally doing it, spiritually. Oh, I got the license to get it in.
Right.
I have the license to enjoy my wife. But I'm curious, over the last 6 years, have there been the ups and downs in marriages in this season? I mean, dang, you shaking your head like,
absolutely.
Yes.
Prep us single people about that. Why, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Y'all making good money? Y'all are well-known in the space? Got a kid? Like, why does that come?
I mean, there are any number of reasons, man. Just off the top of my head, one, and I'm not blaming these situations, but I'm listing all the places in life that you might not necessarily be thinking about that will impact you personally, that will impact your partner personally, that as a result will impact the energy in your home. My mother is financially insecure.
Okay.
Her father has beaten, just in the last year, her father has beaten cancer. We've had deaths in the family. We're still in a pandemic. We are growing a business, which is like having a second child.
Yeah.
We're in the process of starting a third business.
Yeah.
We wrote a book.
Yep.
We traveled for 6 weeks filming a video series that kept us out of our house while all of these things were happening, right? And so life happens, especially if you're making moves. And it doesn't even matter if you're still in the same place and you're doing it all together. Like, you're a human being. You get older, right? You get more tired. And so, it happens. It's not necessarily, in my opinion, a sign that things are falling apart. It's just a reflection of the limited amount of time in the day. Now, you could also say that it is a reflection of having competing priorities. But that's what happens when you're growing, right? Like, which one of those things will I get rid of? There are a couple of them that I can say, like, that's probably something that I could defer until next year. But the vast majority of those things, we absolutely needed to focus on this year. And so it creates or disrupts the rhythm that you have in your house. And as a result, intimacy or having sex with your partner, I think sort of falls off. So you have to know that that's going to happen and build in mechanisms to rebalance, to bring it on back, right?
Yeah.
For the men who have this high intimacy drive, what's your encouragement to them? Because, men are like, why? What? Huh?
Yeah.
Nah, come over here.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be real,
Yeah.
Because I'm praying over that myself.
Yeah.
I think the definition expands. So a lot of men are taught that sex and intimacy is just like, doo, doo, doo.
Right.
But there's a...
That's what it sounds like?
Man, if it sounds like that, well, we got a problem.
But you learn to make it a more expansive definition, and there are lots of ways to show that you're still physically attracted to your partner.
Yeah.
There are lots of ways to show that you still have an intimate connection, whether it's an inside joke or just something that y'all do, dancing silly, dancing sexy, just cuddling in the morning, whatever it is. Like, you just learn to appreciate the spectrum beyond just like...
Look at Joy off the set like...
See, that's going to be the new code tonight.
That
Everybody's going to be like,
hey. Y'all going to say that.
Yeah, can we do?
Oh, man. Who do you think, is that easier for women or men?
I don't know that it's easy for anybody. It's just part of the experience.
Okay.
Like, I don't think... Like, there is a stereotype that men are the more sexual people in the relationship.
Which I don't think it is.
And there's phases, right? There are, especially with women, as we grow older and our hormones change. Yeah. Like, my 30s are far different sexually than my 20s. Oh. And when I talk to my friends in their 40s, they're like, girl, hold on. Like, it keeps going. Like, yeah, so give yourself the room to learn, like, what is sexually attractive to you, what matters to you, what intimacy looks like, and,
I think I need to do a show on... Because that's not really my lane. But I do think that my tribe could really learn what is intimacy. Because I think for me, growing up in my family, intimacy was just simply sex.
No.
You know, they didn't really talk about all the other stuff. I didn't see my mom and dad holding hands when I was young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't see my mom and dad cuddling up on the couch. You know, so intimacy in my head, because of how I was raised, was we're going to the bedroom and the TV's gonna be loud, so you might wanna go upstairs.
Yeah.
And if you hear the TV loud, that means don't come to the room. You know, so I think that is a good show to where maybe I can bring y'all in again, or maybe have married couples.
Yeah.
Come in and just talk about intimacy.
All the forms. Yeah. It is a full range of stuff, whether it's like, this is the person I call when something happens and I don't know what to do. Like, that's a form of intimacy. If you're the first person I call when I hit, rear end somebody instead of the police, that's a form of intimacy. It's not necessarily smart, but like, it's there. It's grieving in front of somebody. It's being incredibly excited about something that hasn't happened yet and like being vulnerable. It's all of those things. And that's what makes marriage special.
And I think even as she's talking, right, like I can like sort of extend every single one of those examples and say intimacy is my ability to hear the tone of her voice and to understand exactly where she is and what she needs, and as a result, how I need to respond. In moments of like sort of like pressure or fear or any of those things. So, like, it's a deep inner sort of intertwinedness that you have with someone that just makes life and communication a lot easier. So, and that sounds whack, right? If all you're thinking is a little bit more ding. But as you know, as I'm stepping into like my 40s and recognizing, sort of uncle status in the game, in the lane, it's like I remember also being like, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely not. But now that I'm there, it's like, oh, actually, like there's so much more that you're just not there yet. And I think we just need to accept that. When you're in your 20s, you don't know what you don't know, and that is going to be true every single 10-year period. Right? You don't know what you don't know yet. You can't see it. You can't wrap your head around that until you're there and you're like, oh wow.
Will we ever know what we don't know? Because everything, even in our 30s, late 30s, we don't know what we're going to be in our 50s.
I remember being so confident that I knew just about everything I needed to live the rest of my life in my 30s. Because I was comparing it to what I knew and understood to be true in my 20s. And now, for a variety of reasons, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot wait until like 45 or my 50s, because it's going to be beyond what I can even imagine right now. So, God willing, assuming I can make it that long, I'm really looking forward to it.
Man, listen, I wish I had a 2-hour show. I mean, because y'all dropping wisdom on this thing, and I really appreciate y'all. And I want to encourage all of you watching me right now to go to their YouTube channel, go to their website, connect with them. They have a book coming out. We don't know the exact date, but signed by a major publisher. And they're about to be back on the road. I remember book tours. And I remember that season. It's a phenomenal season. And y'all want to help a whole lot of people. Real quickly, what is the book going to be about?
So it's entitled Cashing Out. It is part our personal journey to financial independence. It is in part our invitation specifically for the Black community and Black professionals to look at this movement and the times that we're in. And by this movement, I mean this movement of financial independence, get crafty, get frugal, embrace that. And also us sort of offering similar tips around how to deal with all of these things in life, right? It's not just about mastering the fundamentals of investing and budgeting. It's also what impact does that have on my relationship with my partner and my commitment to my community or the role that I play in my family. And so what we're really trying to do is to guide people to a point where they are in greater control and have a strong sense of empowerment around their money, and as a result can define their lives however they want.
Cool. Ballpark, is it 2022 or 2023?
I'm aiming for Juneteenth 2022. I'm trying to keep it for the culture.
Okay.
And so hopefully it's on pre-sale by the end of this year, but it will be out by right around Juneteenth of next year.
So I have a very strong, and this will be our last question. I have a very strong white audience. I know they're probably saying, Anthony, why is everything about Black people? Why do y'all have such a hard calling passion for us? I'm curious. Because I do too. But I'm just curious for y'all. I can hear it in y'all's voice. Why?
Well, you're bringing me back to page 3 of the manuscript. And it's because we are the people that are in most need, right? I remember, and again, I'm also saying this as a marketer, as someone that has studied that professionally, has worked in that kind of environment. When I've assessed the landscape, white people, unfortunately, I'm not gonna say unfortunately, but have far more resources, far more channels, far more personalities and examples when we're talking about the idea of being rich and regular. That is something that white people are far more likely to identify with because they know what that looks like. The image of Black wealth is an image that operates on 2 extremes for the most part. So we're either talking about Black people being in deep poverty, or we're giving the highest examples, which unfortunately might be admirable or aspirational, but not necessarily attainable. Right?
Come on,
and
man.
So when you start talking about being relatable, that's important. I actually think relatability is one of the most powerful forces that we can do as storytellers and content creators because it makes people feel included in the process. Everything else is just entertainment.
And I know we gotta go because I gotta raise the kids. But your kid. I went viral, I think, last year, and I lost about, when I said this, I lost about maybe 5,000 followers.
Congratulations.
You didn't even know what I said. I told the world, respectfully, that I could never date outside of my race. And I said that I believe that I have been called to marry a Black woman. Not because I only am attracted to a Black woman, but I think there are less examples of a healthy, Black, wealthy family for our other Black kids to see. And for our other Black community to see. I love Jay-Z and Beyonce. I love Russ and Sierra. I love them all. But more than likely, 99% of us will never get to that billionaire status.
It'll never happen.
No.
And they need to see regular people who love what they do, who are doctors, who are school teachers, who are entrepreneurs, who are just everyday people, who look like them, who are successful, living within their means, have wealth, building a legacy. And I'm not knocking people who are Black, who marry white. I'm not knocking that at all.
Right.
But I think we need more examples. And it starts, I believe, with people who just say, that's what I want to do. Just because I am pro-Black doesn't mean I'm against white people.
Right.
And I do have a problem with white people who try to tell me, well, trust God. Okay, I am.
I hear that, man.
You're tired of that. I'm like, but what about God? Well, what do you mean, what about God?
What does that do?
Well, God may have something else for you. What? God said he'll give me the desires of my heart. And he put on my heart to be a good example and a good steward for the Black community.
And you're doing a great job, man.
Thank you, man. It means a lot. Listen, y'all, man. I know I probably just lost some of y'all right now. It's all good and gravy. I love you. I have quite a few white people on my team, and they know my heart. But I genuinely do believe that we need more positive Black examples. And I encourage you all to please go over to Rich and Regular's platforms, their Instagrams, their YouTube, follow their show. They're launching season 3. If they do launch season 3 without this guy named Anthony O'Neill on there, I need my tribe to show up. Like, yo, you came on the table. I'm only here because you were on the table. Why is my man not at the table? But no, real talk, man. I love them dearly. I love what they're saying. Please check them out. I'll drop all their information in the show description. So make sure to please check it out. And y'all, we're keeping it real. We're keeping it relatable. We're keeping it relevant. And today was a very real and gut check show. And this is the 3rd person on my show. Sarah Jakes was first. Who was the second one, bro? Oh, Ashley and Kiersten Brown. And all of a sudden, this dude want to tell me, oh, you want a loser for a while. I can take the heat. You know what I'm saying? She was like, Anthony, are you gonna win today? Or you gonna lose? You right. I'm gonna bow down today. I want me a winner for a wife. You know what I'm saying? So I learned something today myself, and I hope you did too as well. So y'all, go check them out. We'll see y'all next week. Peace out.